Warriors' upcoming schedule, which begins tonight. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves come in their best record since 2001. They were 7-3 on the young season. They've won 5 in a row. Golden State won 4 straight, but they'll be without Kevin Durant tonight. Still a pretty good basketball team, with or without Durant. What are you interested in finding out tonight about either team?
I want to get a sense of Minnesota, how good they are. They've gotten off to a terrific start, obviously, and they do have some talent. I mean, that roster should be a playoff team. You know, that's still yet to be determined. But this will be a real challenge for them, going up against not only a good team, but a great team in Golden State. Even though they don't have Kevin Durant, they're still a great basketball team.
Right.
And so it's going to be a challenge. And if you're Golden State, you know, you don't want to give the upstart teams any sense that they're ready to compete with you. You know, you like to send a message early in the season, just a little tap on the shoulder, a little reminder, we're still the big dogs. And I get a sense that, you know, you're going to see Golden State come out with tremendous energy and effort tonight.
The Timberwolves are promise at this point. They're what could be the next couple of years. The Warriors are there and already knocking on the door as maybe one of the great teams of all time. How wide is the gap between the potential and fruition?
Oh, well, I mean, listen, you can't look at a team that's put together the best 3-year stretch in league history, I think, in terms of wins.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And compare them to a team that hadn't even sniffed the playoffs yet as a group. So I think it's a great question, but an unfair answer of any kind for the Timberwolves, because we got to see these guys actually get there, win a series, and then do it year after year before we put them in a category, I think, with the Warriors. The beautiful part about it is I love what I've seen from Andrew Wiggins this season, what we've seen from Karl Anthony Towns last season and this, some of those other supporting guys, and then Jimmy Butler finding his niche with this group and how they're kind of coming together. This will be a great test for the Warriors because they'll get a better understanding, I think, for the fresh blood that's in the league now, that's coming for them the way they were coming for everybody else 4 years ago. You know, sometimes you need a reminder of that when you see teams like this and see a group like the Timberwolves that I think is really hungry, playing good basketball. So I want to see how the Warriors respond in this environment as much as I do the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I think the Warriors will respond well. The thing about the one issue still with Minnesota, we saw it start to show itself last year. They still aren't very good defensively.
Yeah.
I think they're last in the league in defensive rating, or I should say a defending 2-point field goal attempts.
Yep.
And that's going to be an area where for a young team, that's the hardest thing to change, is that the culture and the mindset of how they win. Like, when young players start to believe that they can outscore you, that creates a challenge. You got Jimmy Butler there, who's a defensive-oriented player, and probably the guy that's going to be looked at from a leadership standpoint. But he and Thibs are going to have to figure out a way to get Towns and Wiggins, who physically could become very intimidating and imposing defenders, but for whatever reason, that aspect of the game has not really taken hold for this team.
They're 7th offensively in the league, 27th defensively, and that's an improvement from where they were a week ago. They were dead last for a little while. Why has this been such a big lift for Thibs in this group?
Mostly because it's not what you focused on when you came into the league. You know, a lot of times, if you're a high lottery pick or, you know, one of the top picks in the draft, you go to a team that's not very good on either end of the floor. And the first thing that's going to get you some results is being able to put the ball in the hole. And that's usually what you come into the league best at. So I think there's a focus initially when you first hit your first NBA training camp. Are you fed that San Antonio Spurs diet of, hey, we do defense first here, first and foremost? Or is it, hey, we need you to come out here and produce in this situation, and whatever it is you do best, which is usually scoring the basketball, that's where we focus on. I think if you're Tibbs, you've had to go in there and really change some habits, tweak some attitudes probably about defense being the first order of business for not only your young guys, but some of the vets you brought in. You know, the defense I know, Lord knows I love Jamal Crawford. He's never been a defensive stopper. So
No.
you don't have a roster full of guys who defense has been their focus throughout their time in the league, whether it's 2 years or 15 years.